Hello and welcome to this video on web scraping. So in this video we are going to scrape 50 pages of a website and grab information regarding the name, the title of a book, the price and the number of stars it has, and export this information to a CSV file. Just as in a few lines of code, we are going to scrape this website, and you can see it has 50 pages. So we will scrape all these pages and get the information we want, and that is what web scraping is all about. That is, you grab the information you need from a website, because manually it will be difficult to store and copy and paste all this information. So we are going to write a program that does that for us. But how does it do that? Well, we need to go to this website called books.toscrape.com, and here this is actually a playground for web scraping. You can practice it. It's just like a normal web shop like Amazon or other e-commerce stores. So for all of these, information is stored somewhere and in an organized way. So how do I know which information I can have access to? Now here in this place, I just right click and press inspect, and what it does, it grabs me the whole HTML structure of the page. So for example, this, as I hover over the article, you can see this is highlighted, this part, you see? And then for the next one, you see, this is highlighted. And let's say, let me open them, some of them. If I go hover over this one, you see, this one is highlighted and this one is highlighted. So all of these cards, these are cards which are included in a list item inside an article tag with the class of product_pod. So if I want to get access to the title of this, to the stars and to the prices, I need to target or send a request to get this page and then target the tag which is responsible for displaying this information. And in our case, it is the article tag inside the unordered list. You can see when I hover over it, all of it gets highlighted. It means everything we need is inside this ordered list, OL. And then you can see article. If I expand article, you see we have an image container, and this gets highlighted when I hover over it. There is a star rating, as you can see. There is a H3 tag, which has the title in it, well, parts of the title because it's a bit long. And then we have a product price, which this part is all about. And you can see here under a paragraph tag with the class of price color, I can find it. Okay, now the issue is if I go under title, I can't see the full title here. So where can I get the full title of this book? Well, I have realized that under this image container, inside this A tag, there's an image tag, and it has an alt attribute, which is more like a description of the image. And you can see this alt attribute has the full title. So we are going to get the value of this alt title and put it inside the titles of our books. The same is true for the next one, the same exact process. So if I go to the second list item and article, you can see under image container and under the A tag there's an image, and this image has an alt of Tipping the Velvet, which is the name of this book. You can see again the stars as well. Now what about the stars? How do I get the number of stars? It's interesting that inside this article tag, the article tag here, so we had the image, we had now the star rating. You can't find any useful information here. The useful one is this class name 3. So this 3, which is the name of the class of this paragraph tag, refers to the number of stars it has. So what we can do is to grab the name of the class of this paragraph tag and put it as the star rating. So for example, this book, Tipping the Velvet, has 1 star. If we go down below and under star, you see P class star rating 1. So it has only 1 star. That is how we are going to grab the star rating, and you also saw how we do it with the price tag. Okay, so again, the last time, what we need to do is to get access to this web page. Then we need to go into this OL, grab this whole list, and we loop through each item to find the article. And then inside every article, we are going to find the image, alt, the star rating, and the price. Now let's get to coding. So I've opened this Colab of Google. So this is an online IDE. That is, I don't need to install any libraries on my own machine. I do it here. The first thing we need to import is the requests library. And if I press Shift Enter, it goes to the next cell and it runs it as well. Now I have access to this library, so I can send requests to grab this web page. And now let me see how. So if I go down below, let's see, press next for instance, and you can see we have page 2. I want to go back to page 1, and I will tell you why I've done that one. Okay, so I am going to copy this URL and put it inside a URL variable and inside double quotes. Now I'm going to send a request to grab some response from this. So I'm going to say response equals requests.get. So I'm going to send request to get the URL. So if I run this, I don't get anything here now. But if I print response, here, you would see I get a code of 200. It means this request response was successful. So we have access now. If we got something like 404, it means the page was not found. So there's a list of all these codes, response codes you can find online. Now I don't need this code, it's not that useful. So what I need is actually the contents of that response. So that's why I'm going to save the response.content into response now and run this. Now if I run response, you would see a huge binary. It's like a string kind of, and you see all this. The HTML code is in here, but this is not HTML file actually. You can see this B here. So I need to turn this into HTML code and get access. Now this is where BeautifulSoup comes in. So we are going to import from BS4, import BeautifulSoup. Let's see if it suggests it. Yeah. And you can see uppercase B, uppercase S. So BeautifulSoup is going to be the library. Let's run this. We are going to use to scrape the website. The first thing you need to do is, let's copy this. Down here, the response that we got, right? We're going to make a soup variable. You can call it whatever you want though. And we are going to use a BeautifulSoup class that we just, received. And we are going to pass in 2 arguments. The first one is the response that we just got, and you see it's here, this one. But we need to specify this is an HTML page. So we need an HTML dot parser to parse this HTML for us. Now I run this, and if I run soup to see what soup is, now soup is the HTML code. You can see it here now. So HTML code, you see the list items and all that. So if I go down further below under section, let me see. So this is the order list we are going to grab, which contains all the lists and articles. You see, inside article we have this, where is the image? This image, you see this image, and the alt attribute, this is the name of the book. Then if we go here for a star, under p tag, there is a class of 3, which means it's received 3 stars. Then for the price, we have it here, again a p tag with a class of price color, and this is the price. So we need only 3, these 3 pieces of information. Okay, so this is soup now, as you just saw. So I said we need to grab the order list within that soup, right? Which is, where was that? The order list. Yeah, here. So we need to grab this order list because all the cards, all the books are within the lists inside this order list. So we're going to find this order list first. So we can just call it OL equals, and then we say go inside the soup, that is all the HTML structure that we just grabbed, and find, it's a find method, the first instance of order list inside quotes, double or single quotes. So it means it's going to go inside the soup that we just saw, all the HTML, and find the first order list that it finds. So you can see this is the first anyways among all of them. This is so it will grab this, find this. Okay, now that we have saved this inside OL variable, we are going to find all the articles now. All the articles, because you can see they're all articles here, and inside the articles you have the price and everything else. So we need to find all the articles now. So that is why I'm going to run this. I would have another variable, let's just call it articles equals. Now go inside the OL and find all underscore all. It will find all the instances of this article HTML tag. And if you think there are some other article HTML tags as well, and you want to be more specific, so what you can do is you can say, okay, I want to find the article tags with this class only. So we can specify that here by comma class underscore, because if I just leave it at class, it's a Python class, but this is basically a CSS class. So class underscore equals and the name of the class. So now we have all the articles which are inside this OL here. Let's run this. And now what shall we do? So we have a list of all these articles. I can print out the articles for you to see, and you can see these are all the articles, like ends here, starts somewhere like in the very beginning. You can see the list is a list which starts here with article, and the article ends somewhere down here somewhere, and then another one starts. Okay, so we are going to this time to loop in all the articles and grab what we just talked about, the image alt value, the star class, and the price. So now let's say for article or I or whatever in articles, our list, the list that we just have here, we need to do something. Let's first grab the image. Where is the image? The image is inside the article, that individual article that we find. And let's say find, we should find the first, well, there's only one anyways, the image tag. Get the image tag for us and save it inside image. Now we need to get access to the alt attribute, right? So I would say let's just call it title equals image, that is the image that we just saw, and attributes, ATTRS stands for attributes of that image. And what is the attribute we're looking for? Alt. And give us that title. So now if I say print inside the for loop, if I say print title, let's see what happens. You can see I have access to all the titles of the books on the first page, right? So that is how it happened. We found the image first, and then we said, okay, now that we have the image, I want the attributes alt, ATTRS, alt, and save it inside title. Okay, now we have access to title. What about stars now? So let's say star equals, where was the star? Let's find it again. It was here, a p tag with a class of this, right? And remember, this is the first p tag inside the article, so it's easy to find now. So what we do is, I would say star equals article dot find p, right? That is find the p tag. But there is an issue here. So if I print out this, you will see it prints out the whole thing here. I want the name of the class it has. I want to see which class name it has. So I would say again star equals, I'm going to redefine it again, equals star, which is the same star, and this time get me the class, because now it's more like a dictionary. So if we say class, it grabs the name of the classes in a dictionary, if there are more than one or whatever. So now if I print star, let's see what we get here now. So you can see now we have a list actually of these classes. So star rating 3, star rating 1, star rating 1. But I don't need the word star rating. I just need the rating itself, which is 311. So how do I access that? Here I say, give me the index 1, which is this one. This is index 0, this is index 1. Now I would only get the numbers. You can see a 3114. Great. Okay, so now we have also star. The price should be much easier, I guess. So price equals, where can we find the price? Under this tag here. So it's inside a paragraph tag with this class. You just need to zoom in and narrow down as much as possible to be more specific. Okay, so a p tag with this class name of price color is equal to article find is a p tag, and the class name is equal to this, right? But there is an issue. So if I print price now, you will see what happens. It prints out all the HTML tag, p class, and then price is here. I just need the text inside this. That's why at the end of this find, I add dot text. And now you see we have this. So if you're happy with this, then it's fine. But sometimes you might need to have numbers so that you add some stuff or arrange them in order, from high to low or low to high. So, but this is string format. So what we need to do, let's just do something with it. So what I can do, I can say here, price is equal to, or yeah, let's just have it like this. It's cleaner. Price from index 1 up onwards. That is, this is the price. This is index 0. I want only from index 1 onwards. I want this part only. This part only. So now I would get rid of this symbol, the Great British Pound symbol. Okay, but still this is a string. So what I can do, I can turn all this into a float. Float is a number with decimals, right? So I can wrap it like this. And now it looks the same, obviously, but now it's a number that you can add to or subtract something. Okay, we have now our title, stars, and price. So let's put them all inside a variable maybe. So we can say, I don't know, book. Well, actually, let's do something else. Let's define a list of books here. So I would say books equals an empty list, and I'm going to add all this information to this. So I would say books dot append. So we're going to add to this books, to this empty list, the title, star, and price, right? So I would put them again inside another list. So that would be title, then maybe price first, and then star. And now I can print books down here, and you will see it's a list of lists. You can see this is the first book, for example. This is the second, third, and others. Okay, so far so good. But what we have been doing is only for one page. That is the first page. What about page 1 to 50, all of them? Well, the trick is, if you see here, we have page -1. If I change it to, for example, I don't know, 44, then it will show me this one, right? So I can go up to page 50, right? Like this. So I just need to update this number. So what I can do is, like here, I can say, instead of this, where was that? This URL which says like number 1 only. Let me grab this. I want to put everything in one cell, like here, and also this one as well, here, then the content, here, what else, the soup that we made, here, the order list we grabbed here, and the articles inside the order list we grabbed here. Okay, so what we need to do is to say, now you did this process for only page 1, then do the same process for page 2, for page 3, for page 4. That is why we are going to update this and put it inside a for loop. I would say for I in, and we're going to give it a range of 1 to 51. That is up to 51, but not including 51. That is 1 up to 50 and including 50, because we know it's 50 pages, right? So from 1 to page 50, do something. Do what? So let's put everything in a tab, and we indent it under this. Now, what is a I? I is going to be 1, then runs all of it, and then I will be 2 and runs all of it. So instead of this page 1 now, we can put I, and at the beginning, let's put an F string. So now it is a variable. So the first time I will be page 1, and then we're going to send a request to page 1 and do all that here. Then when it's done, I will be 2, so it will be page 2, so it will go all the way up to page 50. But then we don't need to have this book here inside the for loop. And also this one, we don't need this either. I will tell you why now. Okay, so this will basically be the indentation. Okay, so this is basically the same. It just goes over the process for 50 pages and does that and saves everything inside a list. But what about CSV file? How do I export it? Very good question. Okay, so here we have all these. Oops. Yeah, so let me get rid of these now. And so here, let's import pandas as PD, and we are going to use a Pandas library to export this information to a CSV file. If you're using your machine, you have to install it, pip install pandas, or pip install BeautifulSoup, or pip install requests. Don't forget that. Okay, now that we have access to pandas, I ran this, I guess, yes, that was check. Okay, now I can say, now that we have the books, right, which is full of all of these books. So let me run this so that everything from all these 50 pages is saved inside books. So you see it's running it, and it's going to take some time because it's 50 pages, obviously. So, or I can stop it and just go for, I don't know, 4 pages or 5 pages. So, yeah, I'm going to stop. This is just too much. So what I will do is just say, okay, for 5 pages, for example. Let's do it for 5 pages, and it should be faster. Now, yes, it's done. And everything is inside this list of books. So for Pandas, Pandas works like this. Pandas needs to have access to data frames, for instance. And data frames are basically like tables, like CSV, spreadsheet, kind of tables. So we need to create one data frame, like df, you can call it whatever, equals. And we use the PD, which is pandas, as we imported, dot data frame method. So we are going to turn something into a pandas data frame. And what is it? It's going to be the books that we have now. And remember, the books, this is a list of lists, right? And it doesn't have any columns at the moment because it's just like list of lists. So we can give it some column names. So columns equals another list. And the first one should be maybe title. I think it was title, the first. The second was price. Yes, price here. So these are going to be the title, price, and the star rating. So these are going to be the columns for these lists. And I'm going to shift enter, run this. Now we have access. Now that I have access to this, I can turn it into a CSV file. So easy. I need to just say df.to_CSV and give it a name like books.csv, for example, and shift enter. And where does it go? Well, it goes here, and you can see I have it. I can download it if I want to, or I can also display it right here. Let's see what we have. And you can see we have this title, price, and star rating. And you can see this here. I can just click on this, and since it's by numbers now, it's like a float number. So I can order them like based on the most expensive, the least expensive, you know, low to high as well. And you can see they're all here. Like you can show them, I don't know, 50 of them, for instance, here. So that was what we did. It was awesome, and it was so easy. Less than half an hour. So I hope you liked it. Please, it really matters, and it's really important if you like this video and share it with friends or leave a comment there for it to be seen. Thank you very much for watching and listening.